Well, here it is, 2013 Victory Vegas 8 ball. Take you guys for a little ride right now and explain this motorcycle. You've already seen that one right there, so no reason to talk about it. What I want to do today is give a general overview, kind of really a review, kind of riding impressions of the Victory Vegas. It's a 2013 Vegas 8 ball, the original owner, and just for perspective's sake, so you get where I'm coming from. I owned 3 cruisers before this one, and I had a Star Striker, Yamaha Star Striker. I had a Harley V-Rod and a Road King. The Road King didn't really count. I borrowed it for a lengthy amount of time, so I felt like it was mine, but I didn't pay for it. But I rode it for a long time. So that's kind of where I'm coming from the cruiser world, my perspective of cruisers. So I bought this for a lot of reasons. I thought you're getting a lot of bike, you know, for not a lot of money when you compare it to what else is in the market. I like the 106 engine on this thing. It's smooth, it's torquey, it's got a good power band on it. The handling, man, I like how this bike handles. I mean, I know it's a cruiser, but man, it handles well. And it's been reliable, and I knew it was reliable just by, you know, going on the Victory forums and just talking to people. So, and I like the looks, right? That's subjective. Everybody has different opinions, different tastes for different bikes. But I like the looks, man. I really did. I like the way it looks. I think this is what a proper bar hopper should look like, right? Blacked out, get the murdered out feel. So yeah, so again, I enjoy the, I like the looks of the bike. For me, it was spot on, and I really liked the price point above all else. I compared it to like the Dyna and stuff, man. It's just overpriced for what you're getting. So, you know, it's got good value, and it performs very, very well. Now there was a way for me to get the Dyna. There was one that was like, it was the same year, it was 2013. That had like 1,000 miles on it or something. So they're selling it as used, and they're roughly the same price. But I prefer this bike. I know the die-hard Harley guys, they prefer their Dynas compared to the Vegas, and good on them. That's not a bad bike, but I prefer this bike for myself. And again, I'm speaking from my perspective, for my tastes. So if you're in the cruiser world, if you're a cruiser guy, you're looking at cruisers, this is a really good bike. It's kind of been a sleeper for a lot of years. You know, people in the cruiser world know about it, but it never really grabbed the headlines. To be honest, not a lot of Victory bikes have grabbed the headlines. I think like they should. You know, like they should. It's extremely comfortable. Again, I'm 5'10". It is an extremely comfortable reach for me. The handlebars are back. Yeah, the handlebars are back. You know, just everything for my dimensions. You know, I'm very, very comfortable on this motorcycle. So, you know, that's kind of what I look at. You know, do I look at the bike? Does it perform well? Am I comfortable on it? Is it going to suit my needs? And how's the price point? And that's kind of what I use as markers for making a decision on a motorcycle. So I've been extremely happy with this motorcycle. It does a lot of things well. You know, when I compare it to the Star Striker, man, this bike, you know, I hate to use other analogies to describe things, but you know, if the Star Striker was like a fully loaded Honda Accord, man, which is a very nice car, this thing is a Cadillac. It's just so much smoother, just more plush. You know, it handles the road better, it handles the environment, you know, better than the Striker did. And I was a big fan of that bike. Can't really compare it to the V-Rod. You know, the V-Rod was more about performance. This is more about kind of just style, and you really can't compare them. You know, performance-wise, obviously the V-Rod outclassed this thing, but you know, in terms of comfort and practicality, this is a much more practical cruiser. And I've used it for long trips, and I've used it for also my mellow out days when I just want to roll around the beach, take one of the coastal roads here. So that's kind of two purposes that I've used it for, and it's done both of those fairly well. Not fairly well, very well. Excuse me, very well. The negatives, the braking does not have good brakes, guys. Yeah, I'll say that again, does not have good brakes. Definitely doesn't have ABS, and the brakes it does have really lacks some stopping power. And you ride this bad boy when it's wet, and you try to do some hard braking, you're gonna slip and slide more so than you would another cruiser. So that's just one area where it needs some work in. But I don't think Victory is gonna put any more work in this thing. I think I don't even think they're gonna make it for 2016 or not. To be honest, I don't even know what's going on with Victory. But I want to come out here and capture this view. So for the cruiser world, this thing does a lot of things right. It's kind of really I would say a jack of all trades and a master of none. Maybe the only thing it's a master of is cruising down the boulevard and doing duties as a bar hopper. But for those of you that have the bike, I know you're already a big fan of it. For those of you that are considering it, it's reliable, it's fun, handles well. It's got a great motor in that 106 engine. Transmission is good. Yeah, some people say it's a little clunky. Sometimes it could be, but it's great overall. A great cruiser, a great muscle bike, and it performs very well for long distance rides. You can really take it on the interstate. I have a windshield I can put on it, touring windshield, and taking it down from Northern California to Southern California and back. Very comfortable. And when I did that trip, my buddy had a Road King. We switched bikes a couple times during that trip, and his was comfortable, but mine was also comfortable and performed a lot better too. So keep that in mind. And I had a lot more fun on the twisties. You might not think this is fun on the twisties, but believe me, in the realms of the cruiser world, it really is. It handles very, very well. Very balanced motorcycle. So kind of consider those points. And this vlog, really just wanted to showcase this bike, talk about it a little bit. I haven't really done that. So there's some people on the Victory forums that show some interest in me doing that, so I went ahead and did that. It's one of my favorite spots to come out here. You can ride up. So I started off down there, and you ride up the hill, come up here to this forest area, get the beach in front of you. There's not a lot of traffic here. It's a good place to come out here and think. I know if you were to consider one, if you were to purchase one of these bikes, you would be very happy. This is coming from a Victory owner who's owned Harleys, who's owned Yamaha. God, this area is so beautiful. Whether you're in the so I'm back, by the way. So whether you're right around the coast or riding inland, this whole county of Monterey is beautiful, and this gives you an idea of what the interior part of the city looks like, or the county. And a lot of people don't know that California is like this. You know, they just think about like the bigger cities. You get out into what I call backwoods California, you find it's not very different from anywhere else in the country. So somebody on the Victory forums asked me, hey, do you recommend being a Victory Vegas owner? Do you recommend the Vegas? Or do you recommend, again, the Gunner or the Scout? Again, all within Victory's lineup. And I'll start off by saying that I am a big fan of both those bikes.